Okay, so today is day 21 of the 30-day yapping challenge. And I had the brilliant idea to read the Bible, specifically the book of Job. Why? Well, because I have a bone to pick with religion. I think, they're teaching people what they think that they should know. Nah, I don't even want to say that. What am I getting at? I feel like there's a huge sector of people who read the Bible, but they try to read it and distill out from their mind how the situation is kind of bad. So we're going to read it and we're going to commentate on it, because my commentary is it's just that. It's my own, unadulterated. So we're going to read the book of Job. And I just want to see what it said. I had a dream this morning that I read it, and when I was reading it, it looked like a picture, a landscape picture. And I got so lost in reading it, like I couldn't stop seeing it as a picture. So I had to go back to the beginning and read the words. So let's begin. The book of Job. So I got this part that says Job and his background. Now, the first thing about the book of Job, I just remember his whole situation. He got bent over. And I remember the sores and the boils, and I'm just like, anything could really happen to me, but if I had sores and boils, I'm done. I'm done. All right, let's take a look. All right, so it says, and there was a man in the land of Uz whose name was Job. I gotta move this cat. Try to make that more realistic. His name was Job, right? And that man was perfect and upright and one that feared God and eschewed evil. He's a good guy. One of the top dogs, right? And there was born unto him seven sons, 3 daughters. His substances also was 7,000 sheep and 3,000 camels, and 500 yoke of oxen, and 500 she-asses, and a very great household, so that this man was the greatest of all the men. 10 kids, 10,000 sheep and camels, and then 1,000. So what is that? 111, right? 111. Why they got to be so specific about the numbers? I don't know. Anyways, it says, and his sons, so he had all this stuff, and the way it was set up, he was the greatest of all men in the East. Which way is East in the hemispheres of the brain? East is logic, I think. All right, let's take a look. And his sons went and feasted in their houses, everyone on his day, and sent and called for their 3 sisters to eat and to drink with them. So the kids, their pops is rich, so we're gonna ball out. Let's go ahead and throw a ball, bruh. Everybody get their own day. So we got this one day. We call the sisters, 3 sisters. We're gonna come. We're gonna eat to drink together. It's gonna be a vibe. And it was so. when the days of their feasting were gone about, that Job sent and sanctified them, and rose up early in the morning and offered burnt offerings according to the number of them all. For Job said, "It may be that my sons have sinned and cursed God in their hearts." Thus did Job continually. So they're over there partying, doing their thing, and Job is just thinking, man, I ain't gonna lie. Just in case these kids are goofing up, right? I'm going to go ahead and do sacrifices for them, just in case. And he did this all the time. Now, there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord. So you got God, and then you got this whole assembly full of YNs that come up, and quarter-zip children, of course. And they're all coming up to God. And Satan came also amongst them. Everybody's like, man, low-key, this Satan guy gets a lot more wiggle room than we do, but we ain't going to say nothing about it. And the Lord said unto Satan, "Whence comest thou?" He pointed him out. Then Satan answered the Lord and said, "From going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it." And the Lord said unto Satan. So Satan, he's just strolling about, taking a little gander. What's going on planet Earth? The Lord says to Satan, "Hast thou considered my servant Job?" Who is Satan? They say he's the tempter. So he's looking to do some tempting. And God says, the Lord, "What about Job?" Put him out on Front Street. Pow! There is none like him in the earth. He's a 101 type quarter-zip man. A perfect and upright man, one that feareth God and escheweth evil. Listen, he knows how to parry that evil. Just stay focused on, doing his thing. Sacrificing, just being righteous on purpose. And he's in the fight. He's in the race. He fears God, escheweth evil. Then Satan answered the Lord and said, "Doth Job fear God for naught? Does he fear you for no reason?" Like he's sitting there fearing you as if he's automatically protected. "Hast not thou made a hedge about him?" Bruh, of course it would be easy to have faith when you're already protected. That's what he's saying. "You put a hedge about his house and about everything he has on every side. Thou hast blessed the work of his hands, and his substance is increased in the land." Yes, it's easy to follow God when you got stacks, you got protection, you got security, you got a strap, you got a HBK, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of got a point. "And thou hast blessed the work of his hands, and his substance is increased in the land. But put forth thine hand now, and touch all that he hath, and he will curse thee to thy face." All right, so lower your guard down a little bit on him. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pop him one time. And I bet you anything, he's going to curse you to your face. I'm telling you, I do this for a living. I know what's going to happen. Then the Lord said to Satan, "Behold, all that he hath is in thy power." Boom. We're going to take everything he got and give it to Satan. "Only upon himself put not forth thine hand." So Satan went forth from the presence of the Lord. He's like, all right, cool. "And there was a day when his sons and his daughters were eating and drinking wine at their eldest brother's house." They sitting there, they're having a ball. Fantastic time, right? And Satan thinking, okay, well, we can touch everything that he has. He has children. Let me see what we can cook up. And guess what? Verse 14. There came a messenger unto Job and said, the oxen were plowing, and the asses feeding beside them, and the Sabians fell upon them and took them away. You got robbed. Okay, that's not good. Yeah, they have slain the servants with the edge of the sword. Yeah, and they killed everybody that works for you. And I am the only one escaped to tell thee. While he was yet speaking, there came also another and said, the fire of God is fallen from heaven, and hath burned up the sheep and the servants, and consumed them. And I only am escaped alone to tell thee. Okay, so let's get this right. Fire from heaven rained down and burned all the sheep and my servants and killed them? All right. That is unfortunate. While he was yet speaking, there came also another and said, the Chaldeans made out 3 bands. 3 bands. And fell upon the camels and have carried them away. Yeah, and slain the servants with the edge of the sword. And I only am escaped alone to tell thee. Okay, so we got robbed 2 times, and fire from heaven came down, destroying my flock and my servants. Okay, let me process that. Let me process this. While he was yet speaking, there came also another and said, I hope this isn't a bad time, but thy sons and thy daughters were eating and drinking wine in their eldest brother's house. Behold, there came a great wind from the wilderness, and smote the 4 corners of the house, and it fell upon the young men, and they are dead. And I only am escaped alone to tell thee. Nuke the whole... I'm just kidding. Then Job arose and rent his mantle. I don't know what a mantle is, but he shaved his head, and fell down upon the ground and worshiped. Now, when I think of worship, I'm just like, props. Props to you, man. You got it. You got it. And said, naked came I out of my mother's womb, and naked shall I return thither. The Lord gave, and the Lord hath taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. And in all this, Job sinned not, nor charged God foolishly. So, that actually moved at a much faster pace than I thought it would. Chapter 1, we got this perfect man. He had kids, he had ox, he had bread. Something goes on in another realm that he literally cannot see. It's completely invisible. They target him. Boom! Your life, as you know it, donezo. Donezo. Now, this also has happened to me on a much smaller scale, having lost everything that I thought I had before. And, you can look at it and just think to yourself, this is so unrealistic how quick and sudden all this was, I can't even trip. And he dropped the coldest line, I ain't even gonna lie. Naked came I in, naked shall I return. He probably just laughed. All you could do is laugh it off. I don't know exactly what his emotions were in that time, but I feel like so much happened in that moment that his mind went into gunk mode. It snapped a wire in his head, and he was like, okay, well, obviously reality has shifted. Now we have to figure out what's next. Well, we don't have to figure out. He's probably just still I'm not going to make too many assumptions about what's going on in the other realm, but, to target one person like that and put that fire on his ass, it's not looking so good so far. But that's 15 minutes. I've yapped enough. We did it. Okay? I made a video the other night. I don't know how it came up, but I had a memory about something that I had seen a long time ago on the internet. I typed it up, and the video, the original, I don't know if it's the original, but it was there. So I pull it up, I download the video, and then I want to put some music over it. So I'm like, well, what kind of music do we want on it? I want it to be like some sort of, I want it to evoke like a nostalgic sort of feeling. And it just so happened that someone from my past also tried to use nostalgia against me. Now, I have eyes, so I don't let that affect me, but I know how effective it is. So I'm scrolling through my music catalog, and the video is 1 minute and 51 seconds long. So I'm going to find a song that's about 1 minute and 50 seconds long. Or if I got to trim it, it is what it is. So I go through some of the automated tracks, musical tracks, and I'm just like, none of this really fits. Some of it sounds good, but it doesn't really fit in place the way that I want it to. So I continue looking. I go into my Spotify, and I type in 151, the size of the video, the time. And, JID shows up. There's one other song that I had not heard before, but it was not that good. And then I remembered that I was on a mission before to transfer all of my songs that I like from Spotify, which is 1,700, into YouTube, because they have music videos. Very tedious challenge that I never finished. But I go into the YouTube, into my liked videos, and there's a video with no title that's 1 minute and 52 seconds long. So I open it up, and it's perfect. It's perfect. So I slap the audio onto that video, and I do one little edit, cutting off the music for a portion of the video and then starting it back in another spot. And then I sit back and I look at the video, and I'm just thinking, this is so interesting. It's so interesting because I know that nobody has seen the video, probably like 1 million, maybe 2 million people. And the audience that I used to run when I was running my meme page was that audience. And I know some of my followers will remember the video, and they'll hear the music and they'll feel something inside of their body. That's what I want. But I posted up on Instagram, and it's got like 13 views on it. All but one of those views was me, as I had watched it. It was kind of like trends-inducing for me. But it was so interesting how making that, none of that was really my decision. But it had to be a certain way. There are certain things. That's one thing that I like about my poetry. I like about anything that I created that I was really, that I enjoyed. That I don't really know how to say it, but specifically in my poetry, I loved when I was writing poetry and I would reach a part in the poem where I would have to make a decision. Do I want to put it this way or do I want to put it that way? What is the drawback here? And then I finally decide, yes, okay, boom. If we put it like this, this will be perfect. And it's just that one part. And there's also certain parts throughout the whole composition where you decide it has to be this way, it has to be that way, and you decide against things. You invest time into one thing and you decide that's actually not going to work out, so let's go a different direction, and you don't actually know what direction it is. And then you end up at the end of it with this production, and it's just like, wow, what was the point? What was that about? I definitely made this. It came out of me, but I don't really even know what it is. And it only has 1 like on Instagram, and it wasn't me. And I got hundreds of followers. And it leaves you thinking, what was that about? So, yeah. I might finish reading. I might read some more Job tomorrow. I'm not sure. Just a very bad start so far. But it's a long book, so we'll see what it is. Yeah. Bye.